Alright, imagine this, it's 1988. The Cold War's still simmering, and somewhere between the chaos of global politics, a country you'd least expect does something utterly mind-blowing. No, not North Korea. Not even Elon Musk's wet dream. I'm talking about Afghanistan. Yep, Afghanistan, yes, that Afghanistan, sent a man to space. A Pashto-speaking astronaut named Abdul Ahad Momand orbited Earth for 9 days, chattering with his mom in a language that had never left the planet before. And yet, you've probably never heard his name. Why? That's the question Elham Ehsas's film Forgotten Spaceman tries to unravel. And honestly, the answer says way more about us, the audience, than it does about Afghanistan. Let me break this down. First off, how does a nation ravaged by war, drones, and decades of headlines about Taliban and terrorism ever get a spaceman? The timing here is almost poetic. Momand's 1988 mission coincided with the tail end of the Soviet occupation, right as Afghanistan was plunging into civil war. So here's this moment of hope, of national pride, Pashto joining the elite space club languages, while the country's literally falling apart. It's like winning the lottery the day your house burns down. In my opinion, this juxtaposition is what makes the story so haunting. It's not just about space, it's about how trauma and progress collide, and how history tends to erase the good stuff when the bad gets too loud. Now, Elham Ehsas isn't just some random filmmaker. He's an Afghan in the diaspora, piecing together his own family's ties to mom and through a single photo his dad handed him. A photo. That's the MacGuffin here. Think about that, a family heirloom becomes the key to unlocking a national legacy. What's fascinating is how Ehsas pivots from a fictional space story to a real-life detective hunt, licensing random Afghan archival footage like it's a treasure map. The dude didn't even know what he was buying, 6 hours of grainy tape, sight unseen. That's filmmaking as faith, people. And it's a metaphor, right? How we reconstruct identity from fragments, especially when you're a refugee or part of a diaspora. The film isn't just about Momand, it's about how exile fractures memory. Momand himself ends up in Germany, working as an accountant. The guy who put Afghanistan on the cosmic map becomes a number cruncher. That's the ultimate punchline to the joke we call the immigrant experience. But here's the deeper layer. Ehsas uses this story to confront how the West consumes narratives about countries like Afghanistan. We're conditioned to see it through war, burqas, and bombs. But here's a spaceman. A scientist. A symbol of what the country could have been if history hadn't been so cruel. And Ehsas isn't subtle about it. He weaponizes Afghan folk music to structure the film, almost like he's saying, listen to this culture. Actually listen. The 3-act musical structure isn't just a gimmick, it's a rebellion against the visual clichés of poverty and violence. Plus, the choice to narrate in Pashto, Momand's language, is a quiet flex. Like, this is our language. It's been to space. Get used to it. The thing that blows my mind is how universal this feels. Ehsas starts with a spaceman and ends up talking about all exiles. Every refugee carries fragments of a home that's either gone or distorted by outsiders. Momand's story isn't unique in that sense, it's a microcosm. But what if we flipped the script? What if every time we thought of Afghanistan, we led with a spaceman instead of the suicide bomb? That's the radical act Ehsas is proposing. Not rewriting history, but reclaiming it. And honestly, isn't that the job of art? To make us question why we forget certain stories and cling to others? The next time someone mentions Afghanistan, I dare you to say, oh yeah. Did you know they've got a spaceman? Let's see where the conversation goes from there. Drop your thoughts below, seriously, I want to know what you think.